Hello and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be going through Pompey's trip to Fleetwood in League 1. Great 1-0 win. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. It means so much to me and my goal tip 350 this month. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. And obviously, it's a massive win for Pompey in my opinion. Obviously, I think anyone's opinion of a Pompey fan here should be What.A.Win. I don't think there's any way we can write this off as a big win. I think people could say, yeah, it's 3 points. But in my opinion, to beat a Fleetwood side that is set up well, obviously we drew 0-0 with them in the last outing. That was at Fratton Park. They were set up, they're good at the back, they're alright in attack. We could have lost that game. They were probably better than us for a large part of it. Just going to step here to look at the other fixtures from today so I can remember those and the results that came on. But obviously you have to look at the big picture here, and that's a big 6-pointer for me. Obviously, Fleetwood aren't there or thereabouts this season. They're 11th to 12th in the league, which for them, that's not good. Their home form is fairly good. I think obviously they're not got the best home form in the league, but they're not got the worst either. But any Fleetwood fans who are watching this, don't take that as you're not going up. Don't take that result as one to reflect how you played. Because in my opinion, you played very well. You deserved at least a point out of that game. I think anyone that watched the game will agree with me there. Craig McGillivray definitely kept us in it. He gets my man of the match award. Obviously, without that big win, Doncaster would have overtaken us as they won 2-1. Hull dropped points as well. Accrington dropping points. Lincoln not playing. Big result for us today. I'm going to now run through the other results from League 1. Now the first one, it's kicked off at 12:30 today. That's Wimbledon, who had a difficult home tie to Sunderland. Sunderland knocked them out. Sunderland knocked out a 3-0 win on the road. Charlie White hat-trick, I believe, as well. Big win for them. Lifts them up into 8th position in the league now. They've got a game in hand on a couple of teams there. If they can win that game in hand or those games in hand, I think they could be back in the picture for the playoffs, as they always are. Another big result for Pompey here that sees a team drop behind Sunderland, which is Accrington, who lost 1-0 at home to Gillingham. Now apparently the Gillingham goal was very good, but to see Accrington lose is massive as well for us. Results have definitely been going our way in the last month, or the last couple of months. The next result wasn't as good of a result for Pompey. Saw Charlton beat Bristol Rovers 1-0 on the road. I can't really say much about that, I didn't watch it, but Charlton have played more games than anyone in the top 9. So teams will eventually play their games in hand, and possibly Charlton could be left out of that race. Obviously then Ipswich travelled to Burton today. Ipswich got the 1-0 win. Header. Once again, I think it was a well-worked goal that lifts them up into 7th position now. On to 35 points in the league. Goal difference not looking too good for them though, with only 4. Now we move on to Hull. They were 1-0 up for a majority of the game, thinking, right, they'll be holding on. Then Blackpool popped up with an equaliser in the second half, late in the second half, which resulted in Hull dropping points, meaning Pompey are now Pompey are a point behind them with the game in hand, which, you think of that for a Pompey fan, that's massive. We win that game in hand, we leapfrog them, and we've still got to play them at home. Now a result from another team behind us. Peterborough beat MK Dons 3-0 at London Road. Big result for them. Clark Harris with another goal, I believe. He can't stop scoring. 2 points behind us. Played the same games though, so they're not really our biggest worry. Plymouth versus Crewe mid-table fixture. 1-1. Fair game. Rochdale 3, Wigan 3. Now Rochdale I know equalised with 10 men in the last minute. Wigan won't like that, because that would have lifted them higher, away from Burton. Now I'm going to scroll down quickly to have a look at the rest of the fixtures, with the one remaining being Swindon, who are at home to Doncaster. Doncaster went out the winners with that one 2-1. Doncaster 4th in the league now. Game in hand on us though. They're 2 points behind us with a game in hand. But as I've always said, they've got to win that. And in my opinion, I'd rather have those 2 points than have the game in hand, because you can say, oh yeah, with the game in hand, but you got to win them, just as Celtic are proving in the Scottish League right now. Celtic were what's it called? They were 22 points with 3 games in hand. They've played games now, and they're now 20 points with 2 games in hand, because they've drawn both of the games they've played recently. So saying we have games in hand doesn't really mean anything. But we'll go back onto the Pompey game. 5 clean sheets in a row in the league now. Brilliant. Shows we can defend as well as attack. We're the second top scorers in the league, and we have one of the best defences in the league. Says all you need to really say. In my opinion, that's definitely stated a claim for us. Dogs fighting outside. That's definitely stated a claim for us to be in the promotion mix come the end of the season. Win on Tuesday night could lift us into the promotion battle right in the top 2. And then, once again, we've still got Lincoln to play, Hull to play, Doncaster to play, Peterborough to play again, Charlton to play again. We've still got all of these teams coming up. If we can win, against 4 of them, we could be top of the league again. And ultimately, we're now going to go on to Tuesday's fixtures, which I now have to click on. There's some massive ones, and I've already read through a couple of these, but there are some big games. Now, we're starting off at 5:30 with Hull getting a trip from Accrington. Now, Accrington have always been a team that have been at the bottom end of the table. They've been quite a small club. But this season, they've come out of their shell and they've decided that they're going to mount a promotion push or a playoff push, and they can still catch us with the games in hand. However, if they draw or lose to Hull, they can't catch us. Or if Hull, preferably, if those two teams could draw on Tuesday night, that would be perfect for Pompey. It'd mean we could leapfrog Hull, but also be safe from Accrington's onslaught. Another big game though coming in. I think it's 5th against 6th in Peterborough versus Charlton. Another battle for the playoffs or promotion. Charlton win it. That's going to be Peterborough's games in hand flying out the window. But if Peterborough win it, then they can mount another push. Then we got top of the table Lincoln, who face Gillingham at home. Gillingham beat Accrington today. Wouldn't write them off. Blackpool facing Northampton. Mid-table clash, but Blackpool seem to be doing the business against the top teams. Crewe face Bristol Rovers. Now, Bristol Rovers have underachieved massively this season. They're normally mid-table. They're in a kind of relegation battle, albeit with some games in hand. Doncaster are home to Rochdale. Doncaster, another team that can catch Pompey with a win. But will they win? I'm not too sure. MK Dons at home to Fleetwood, the team who Pompey beat 1-0 today. Another big game. Pompey, Wimbledon at home. Could we win again? We'll see. And then Plymouth face the longest trip in the league, to Sunderland away. Be a good game, that one, in my opinion. Another team mounting a playoff push. But obviously, we'll move quickly back onto the Pompey game. We said it, we won 1-0, 5 clean sheets in a row. But in our next 6 games, 5 are at home. Now, we're very good on the away this season, but are we as good at home? I want you to let me know in the comments if you think we can do well. How many points do you reckon we'll get out of those 6? Obviously, we're starting off with the easiest game of Wimbledon. I think we still have Hull to play this month. I'm going to quickly check now, but I think we still have some very big games coming up. If you look at this, you've got Pompey here beating Fleetwood 1-0, which is massive. But then we come up and we've got even bigger games coming up. Wimbledon obviously is the smallest one. But then we face a trip from Hull, a trip from Lincoln, a trip to Charlton, a home game against Plymouth, obviously in what people like to call the Dockyard Derby, even though it's not a derby. And then a trip at home to Swindon. Now, Wimbledon, Hull, Lincoln, Charlton, Plymouth and Swindon. 2 of them games falling in February, but just in January alone, Charlton, Lincoln, Hull, all 3 of those teams in the top 6. In my opinion, out of those 4 games, if we can hold teams, if we can beat Wimbledon, get a point against Hull, beat Lincoln, beat Charlton. Obviously, I'm thinking high there. That's 13 points out of 16. At the minimum, I'd say beat Wimbledon, beat Charlton, draw to Hull, draw to Lincoln. I don't think we can afford to lose any of those games. And then Peterborough and then Plymouth and Swindon, we need to be winning both of them. If we're to lose any of those 6 games, I think it will be Hull, because they're very dangerous. But once again, I think if we keep playing as we are, I can't see us losing any of them. But that said, you can lose to teams like Swindon, like Plymouth. I reckon Brett Pitman could come back to haunt us. You never know. Let me know what you think ahead of those games, and I will see you in the next video, because I've talked about all that I wanted to talk about. I'd like to say to the Fleetwood fans, if you are watching this, well played. My man of the match, obviously, Craig McGillivray, played a key part in that game. He was a very good player. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you are new, please subscribe. I want to hit 350 by the end of this month. Please share my channel if you like it. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow.